In the previous session, we have discussed regarding the modes in the planar waveguide. Let me just quickly recall about it so that we can continue the discussion. So you have seen what is non-planar and planar. So in non-planar, we'll be having two different dimensions, the variable. However, in planar, the wave variation is only in one direction, okay, one dimension. That too, in our figure, we can see Z direction we have taken. Then when we have considered this plane wave, the planar waveguide, here when the wave travels, okay, we have resolved this wave vector into two components, beta z and beta x, out of which we will be considering this only the propagation is along z direction. However, the electric field, it is a transverse in nature, so the direction will be along this. You can see here, the field will be varying along x direction because it is transverse to the propagation of the wave. Propagation is in z direction. So because of this, we will be having here the constructive type of interference, and we have known the concept of a mode. Okay, what is a mode? Mode is nothing but the field configuration, the field distribution. Here we are talking about the electric field. Electric field distribution, that too I said transverse in nature. Propagation, it is transverse to the direction of the wave propagation. Wave propagation is in z direction, so x direction field distribution. So this field distribution in the x direction with only a periodic z dependence, okay, that we will see in case of hybrid, we can get that. It is called the mode. Okay, so and how we can get this specific mode? Specific mode, it can be obtained by the angle theta. In the figure you have seen the angle theta. Depending upon this value of theta, different modes can be obtained. And in the previous session we have seen for there is a phase change, okay, from point P to point Q. You can see there is a point P here and there is a point Q here. In between this, whenever the wave propagates between these 2 points, there is a phase change of 2 pi radians, and in generally 2m pi. So depending upon the m, we will be getting the modes. M is equal to 0 is the minimum, okay, 0. So for this is your TE0, transverse electric TE mode 0, okay, with M is equal to 0. For M is equal to 1, 2 and 3, we have seen this is your TE1 mode, TE2 mode, TE3 mode. And these numbers 1, 2, 3, they signify what? The number of zero crossings. You can see here, this 0 has crossed once. Here 2 times the 0 has crossed. Here 3 times 0 has crossed. So this is signifies the number of zero crossings, okay, by the electric field. So this was all the discussion in the previous session. So let us continue further. And this slide I did not explain you, telling that this is the basic. The related figures I have put in your groups. You can just have a look at that. Okay, so what we how we define or how we describe transverse electric mode is, here the electric field is perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Definitely अगर हम z direction में wave propagate कर रहे हैं, so obviously we have taken this as x, so it is perpendicular. Okay, and electric field distribution along z direction is 0. We have observed here in the first figure, if you see, the field distribution is towards this, okay. However, along z direction, we are not getting something like this, okay. We are not getting. We are getting only in the x direction. So along the wave propagation direction, that is z direction, we won't be getting any field. So Ez value is 0, okay. However, this we talk about the electric field. However, the corresponding H component, I'm talking about the magnetic field because we are talking in terms of electromagnetic waves. So H component, it is in the direction of the propagation. ये उल्टा हो जाएगा, x direction में नहीं रहेगा, z direction में रहेगा. Okay, so we call this transverse electric mode. However, how we can define transverse magnetic is whenever the component of E, it is in the direction of propagation. However, the Hz component, okay, Hx, Hy, Hz, you know the field components. So Hz is 0. So we term that as transverse magnetic mode. Okay? And TEM waves is another category of mode propagation whenever the total field lies in the transverse plane. I have already shared some of the photographs, the pictures, images of these three different modes. Please go through it. Okay, these are the basics. In today's session, we are going to discuss about the phase and the group velocity. Okay, so velocity is a known term to you, and as we are talking here about the electromagnetic waves and the light, so you know the velocity of light, it is c, that is c equals to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. Now coming to the phase velocity. Okay, try to remember when we started the previous session, modes in a planar waveguide, we have assumed a monochromatic light, a light which is having a single frequency. Okay, consider a plane monochromatic wave. So whatever we have considered here, the plane wave, so here whatever light traveling, that we have assumed monochromatic. Why I'm telling this again and again is that concept comes here. So what is a phase velocity? You know, in order to understand that, whatever we know that whenever this is your waveguide, okay, and optical fiber. So in optical fiber, you'll be having core and cladding. So whenever the light travels, initially it will be in the air. Okay, from the air itself, it will enter the core material. So when it is traveling in the air, it's an electromagnetic wave, okay, which is traveling with the speed of c, that is 10 to 10 to the power of 8 meters per second, but which is having the refractive index n naught, the medium. When it enters the other medium, which is having the refractive index n1, the velocity will change. Okay, it will not be c, it will change. Okay, so that velocity we call phase velocity. Here it is very simple when we consider a monochromatic light, just phase velocity. Okay, but practically it is not the case. Okay, so how you define phase velocity? The velocity of a wave in an optical fiber. जब ये air medium से core cladding में जाएगा, so velocity c नहीं रहेगा, it will change. So that velocity we call it phase velocity, and with this velocity the light will travel. This is, I'm talking purely for monochromatic light. Okay, one as a for our analysis purpose we have considered this. So as a monochromatic light wave propagates along the waveguide, that is along the optical fiber in a z direction, so the point of constant phase, okay, I'm talking about the wave structure. So the points of constant phase, they travel at this phase velocity Vp. So Vp is nothing but your phase velocity, the velocity with which the wave travels inside the optical fiber. And it is given by Vp is equal to omega by beta. How we got this omega by beta? I have just from the pencil, I have written here, you can observe. We will start with the velocity definition, which is distance by time. Distance is, for any wave traveling, lambda will be the distance, and the time. So time, I have taken 1 by f into lambda. What I have done to f lambda, I have multiplied by 2 pi and divided by 2 pi. If I do this, I can club 2 pi f, I can club all together, leaving lambda separately. 2 pi f will become what? 2 pi f altogether will become omega. And I'm left with lambda in the numerator, denominator में 2 pi है. So what is beta equals to? You know this, beta is a phase constant, and in generally propagation constant, very specifically phase constant. Okay, when I'm taking gamma, which is alpha plus j beta, here we are not considering the attenuation alpha, attenuation constant, we are considering beta term. So gamma is equal to beta we are considering, and this beta is nothing but 2 pi by lambda. Okay, this is your propagation constant, 2 pi by lambda. So lambda by 2 pi is the reciprocal. So what I can do here, lambda by 2 pi, I can write it as 1 by beta. So omega by beta, that I have written here directly. Vp is equal to omega by beta. From the basics of velocity definition, I have derived this equation. Okay. This is applicable to a monochromatic light, as I told you, when we are considering for our analysis purpose, a light which is having a single color. But however, in practice, is it possible when you are really working with optical fiber, when you are sending the data, when you are, actually in practice, you are using the optical fiber for communication, it is not at all practical that we are using single monochromatic light, because light will be a combination of different frequencies, right? So it is not practical enough to consider monochromatic light only, because what will happen? It is impossible in practice to produce perfectly monochromatic light waves, because it will be combination. Because light energy is generally composed of different plane waves, plane wave components of different frequencies. Frequencies alag alag hone ki wajah se you will be getting different colors, right? So because of this, we won't be considering phase velocity separately. No doubt, we have defined what is phase velocity here. It is the velocity with which a monochromatic light wave travel inside the optical fiber. But practically, light wave will be composed of different frequency components, not monochromatic. Okay, because of this, instead of going for phase velocity, what we do, we take group velocity. Okay, because different frequencies, because of that we need to go for group velocity rather than the phase velocity. Now before that, you should know what is a wave front. I think this is again a known term to you, wave front. In diffraction probably you might have studied this. So group of waves, okay, group of waves with closely similar frequencies propagating all together. एक साथ में जब वो ट्रैवल होते हैं, बहुत very slight difference will be there in their frequencies. So such group of waves we call them wave packet. Okay, sorry, wave packet. Okay, not wave front, wave packet. So whenever this wave packet travel inside the optical fiber, that in that case we cannot consider phase velocity, because it will be a combination of different frequencies. हर एक, क्योंकि group of waves जब travel कर रहा है, so each wave will be having its own phase velocity separately, and it can't happen that each one will travel with its own velocity. It will not, it is not possible. So instead of that, individual waves, they want to travel with the phase velocity. Instead, it is observed that they will move at a group velocity. And what is this group velocity Vg? The group velocity Vg is equal to del omega by del beta, or del is nothing but your partial derivative. Okay, omega by beta is your phase velocity. Omega by beta is phase velocity. When you take this del omega by del beta, because the parameters are changing. When we go for this del operator, dou operator, whenever the parameters keep on changing, and when group of waves are traveling, they are having different frequencies, so they travel with a different speed. So because of this, we need to go for a group velocity. What is the group velocity of those particular waves? For that, we go for this dou operator. Okay, Vg is equal to dou omega by dou beta. Now, if propagation in an infinite medium of refractive index n1. So what do you mean by this? If a propagation, if we consider a propagation of an electromagnetic wave, a light wave, in an infinite medium of refractive index n1. So when we have considered an optical fiber, okay, core is having the refractive index n1, cladding is having the refractive index n2. So I'm talking about n1 here, that is core material I'm talking about. So whenever we consider a propagation of light wave inside this core material, which is having the refractive index n1, then the propagation constant, I'm talking about beta, okay, in general it is gamma, but here specifically I'm talking about beta because we won't be going for attenuation. So the propagation constant, we can write it as beta is equal to n1k cos theta. From where we got this n1k cos theta? Again, referring to the previous discussion. Let's go back. We can say the component along z direction is n1k cos theta, because when we have considered this wave vector, this is your wave vector traveling, okay, which is having the propagation constant beta, which is equal to n1 into k. Okay, this is your beta. If this wave is traveling in this direction, we can resolve this vector, wave vector, into two components. One is in horizontal direction, which is a z direction, and one is a vertical direction, which is x direction considered. Out of these two, the wave is traveling in z direction, hence the field will be in x direction. We have seen this already. Yes, in the previous session we have discussed. So because of this, only this component we will be considering, x direction. The component of the plane wave in the x direction is reflected. Okay, whatever the wave is propagating, this is because of this component itself. Okay, so this discussion we have already done. So with that, taking as a reference beta or beta z, okay, beta z, it is equal to n1k cos theta. And here I am taking the n1k. I did not take cos theta because we have assumed the propagation in a z direction. So there is no resolution at all, because I am considering that the wave is traveling in z direction. The x is not at all into picture now. So only z direction hai. So theta, what will be theta? This total term cos theta will be equal to 1. That is, theta is cos inverse of 1. What is theta angle? When the cos will be 1? 0. Fine. So the wave is traveling in z direction. Cos theta is equal to 1. Because of that, let me take only this n1 into k. Suppose this is the case, then how further I can write this n1 as it is. Instead of k is nothing but your again propagation constant term 2 pi by lambda, because beta is nothing but n1 times k. n1 is the refractive index, so k value and beta value will be almost same. Beta is defined as 2 pi by lambda, k is also defined as 2 pi by lambda only, but here what is n1? n1 is the refractive index. So instead of k I can write 2 pi by lambda. So if I write n1 into instead of k 2 pi by lambda, then in the next step n1 I have kept it as it is. Now in the next step, for lambda I have substituted it as c by f. So c equal to f lambda, or lambda is equal to c by f. I have substituted that. Then n1 keeping as it is, f which is in the denominator I have taken to the numerator. Okay, and clubbing all this together, 2 pi f. 2 pi f is nothing but omega. So what finally you got the term? Beta equals to propagation constant is equal to n1 into omega by c. Okay, so this is beta term. We are now talking about group and phase velocity. So we have seen what is a phase velocity term. Phase velocity is nothing but the velocity with which the wave is traveling inside the core of an optical fiber. That is your phase velocity. but this is when we consider the value is what is that, omega by beta. Okay, but this is for a monochromatic wave. But when it comes to practical or using optical fiber for communication, so it is not possible that light will be having only single monochromatic light waves. So light energy will be composed of different components at different frequencies. So because of this, instead of phase velocity, we'll go for group velocity. This was the discussion, and Vg is given by dou w by dou beta. Now coming into the expressions, what will be the expressions for phase velocity and group velocity we are talking about? We are discussing that now. For that, what we consider the propagation of light wave inside the core material when we consider, which is having the refractive index n1. From that, beta is equal to n1 into k, with substitution of k theta equals to 1, because propagation is considered only in z direction. Beta will be equal to n1 into k is 2 pi by lambda, lambda is a c by f, then frequency take it to the numerator, club 2 pi f, which will become omega. This is your beta, okay, only beta. But how we define phase velocity? Vp is equal to Vp, V velocity, phase velocity, omega by beta. So take this, phase velocity is equal to Vp, which is equal to omega by beta. Beta just now we have derived it, substitute that. So omega, what is beta? N1 omega divided by C. N1 omega divided by C, C will go to the numerator and omega gets cancelled. Vp is equal to C by N1. Vp is equal to C by N1. So what you can observe now, you know that when we consider the optical fiber communication, this is your optical fiber, assume it, wave is coming from air. Okay, in the air, velocity of the wave which is traveling, it is your c, and when it enters the core material for further communication, its velocity is phase velocity Vp. Now can you just look at the difference? In the air it is c, but inside the optical fiber it is Vp. Vp is c by n1. So what is the factor? It is not simply c, it is c divided by n1. So your velocity will be, new velocity is not c, it is c divided by n1. That is, your velocity is dependent on the refractive index of the material. It is not c, it is c divided by. So divided by है तो n1 का वैल्यू अगर आप ज्यादा ले रहे हो, डिनोमिनेटर ज्यादा हो रहा है तो वेलोसिटी कम हो जाएगा. So your Vp will be less than the velocity of your c, 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second से भी कम होगा. That is your phase velocity. This is the first discussion. Now let us get the equation for group velocity Vg. And we have already defined what is Vg is equal to, it is dou w by dou beta. Now what I will do, say in the similar terms, for the group velocity Vg is equal to delta or dou, okay, the notations. Whenever I apply this limit, you know that from the calculus theory and the differentiation, how you define differentiation, whenever you apply limit, okay, limit tends to 0, your dou operator will become differentiation. So when apply the limit, this particular thing will become dw by d beta. Now we need to get the equation for this. Okay, in order to do that, what I have done here, see, Vg is equal to dw by d beta. I have written like this separately. How I have written this dw by d beta. d beta को separately अलग से लिखो, numerator को अलग से लिखो. Okay, in here these space, what I will do, I will try to fill with a common term which can be applicable, which is dependent or which is linked to both this omega and beta. One such parameter I found is lambda only. Okay? Because beta mein bhi lambda expression aayega, omega is also dependent on the lambda. So I have done this. multiply and divide by d omega, and this is slight readjustment. If I do that, I will get two different differentiations. See, d lambda by d beta, this first term, and d omega by d lambda, this is the second term. So now what I will do, separately I will get these two terms and I will substitute. Now let me first show you the first bracket, d lambda by d beta. So how I can get this d lambda by d beta is, I can before this better let me just show you the second one. It is simpler one. Let us complete that, then I'll come to the first. D omega by d lambda, let me complete. dw by d omega by d lambda. For this, in order to get the relationship between omega and lambda, I think the basic thing is c equal to f lambda. I should start with this only, c equal to f lambda. So lambda is equal to c by f, right? Lambda is equal to c by f. Now, what I will do, I will multiply with 2 pi at both the sides. Let me just show you clearly. Here I have the space. Let me write it here. Let me start with lambda is equal to c by f, okay? Or f is equal to c by lambda. Okay? Fine, f equal to c by lambda. What I will do, I want omega term here. So omega लाने के लिए frequency को आपको 2 pi से multiply करना पड़ेगा. 2 pi f will become omega. So multiply by 2 pi on both sides, LHS and RHS. I have done that here. 2 pi f and 2 pi c. Okay. Then what is LHS? 2 pi f is nothing but omega, and 2 pi c by lambda as it is. Okay. 2 pi c by lambda as it is. So I have got now ओमेगा इज इक्वल टू 2 पाई सी बाय लैम्डा. मतलब एक एक्सप्रेशन ऐसा मिला है जहां पे ओमेगा है एंड लैम्डा है. आई कैन फाइंड डी ओमेगा बाय डी लैम्डा. हाउ आई कैन डू दैट? डिफरेंशिएट this equation. Now I think this is fine. I can erase all other things. So let us focus on only the second part, this one which we have got now. Differentiate this equation with respect to lambda. Lambda is in the denominator. Okay. Differentiate it with respect to lambda. T omega by d lambda is equal to 2 pi c. All the values are constant. Keep it outside. What is the differentiation of 1 by x? 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. So here 1 by lambda minus 1 by lambda square, or minus 2 pi c by lambda square, right? Or c equals to, again, instead of writing c, because c is again related to lambda, c equal to f lambda. So I can cancel one lambda from the denominator. So what I did, c is substituted with f lambda. One lambda gets cancelled. You will be left with minus 2 pi f, which is nothing but omega, minus omega by lambda. This is your second term differentiation. Okay, second term differentiation. Minus omega by lambda. Okay. Now coming to the first term. Hope you understood this. I started with the basic equation lambda equal to c by f. Then or f equal to c by lambda. Multiply on both sides, that is by 2 pi term. If you do that, 2 pi f is nothing but omega 2 pi c by lambda. अभी ये जो equation है इसको आप differentiate करो with respect to lambda. You will get this minus omega by lambda. This is one term we got. The second one is over. Now, first differentiation, d lambda by d beta. Okay, let's see how that can be done. Okay, so what I will do, I will make use of this equation. We have already seen beta is equal to n1 into k. You know this. There were two things important. Let me just quickly show you that slide also. Okay. When we were dealing with the modes in the planar waveguide, we have seen two terms. One is propagation constant is increased to n1 into k. However, wavelength gets reduced to lambda by n1. Okay? ये दो चीजें हमने already we have already seen this. There will be two changes whenever light enters. Okay, lambda will be changed to lambda by n1, and beta will be changed to n1 into k. With that as the basics, let's quickly complete that first equation. Okay, so I will start with beta is equal to n1 into k, or n1 into k is nothing but which is equal to beta value almost, but multiplied with n1, 2 pi by lambda. So instead of k, I have a propagation constant 2 pi by lambda. Now, this equation has, see, we need to differentiate beta and lambda, right? Lambda, d lambda by d beta. But here I have beta here. So what I will get here? d beta by d lambda I will get. I think reciprocal I will get. Answer जो भी आएगा उसको reciprocate कर दो. I will get this first one. Okay. So first let me find this d beta by d lambda, which is equal to n1 is the refractive index. It's a constant number. For any material it is fixed. I will keep it as it is. Now coming to this term, coming to the second term, 2 pi by lambda, when it comes to the beta term, I said your lambda will, because the differentiation is with respect to lambda, so your lambda value is decreased by this value, and your beta term will be changed to this value. We have already seen this. Because of this, there is a dependency of refractive index on the wavelength. They are dependent, I can say, because I cannot independently, no doubt refractive index is a constant term, okay, एक value आएगा. But when it comes to the propagation through the modes, okay, when we are dealing with the modes in an optical fiber in a waveguide, so n1's dependency on the lambda cannot be neglected. So because of that, I cannot take n1 as a constant term. Instead, here when I apply the differentiation, I need to make use of UV form. n1 is one variable, the other variable is lambda. n1 u into v. That's why in the first term, u I have kept it as it is, n1. What is the differentiation of 1 by lambda? 1 by x minus 1 by x square. 2 pi constant hai, rakh do, plus next time keep this 2 pi by lambda as it is and differentiate n1 with respect to lambda. Which is nothing but we can't do anything. We know expressions, we cannot use it. So dn1 by d lambda, keep it as it is, indicating the differentiation. So UV form, multiplication, two different variables. n1 is also dependent on lambda, and you have a lambda term also. UV form, reduce it. What we can do? There is a negative sign here in the first term, minus 2 pi. 2 pi is a common term, and denominator में अगर आप देखें तो lambda है, lambda square. So I will take lambda square. So what you can do here, in these two terms, you can take minus 2 pi by lambda square common. If you take, you will be left with n1. So negative term sign common liya hai, so there will be one more negative, so that you will get positive. So minus lambda is there here, but lambda square has taken common, so numerator में एक lambda आएगा extra. Okay? Lambda into this, keep it as it is, dn1 by d lambda. Okay? V term, we will keep this outside, whatever we have written, minus 2 pi by lambda square as it is, into this complete bracket term, we call it ng. n1 minus lambda dn1 by d lambda, this whole bracket term, we call this ng, which is the group index of the waveguide. Group index means what? A refractive index of one particular material. This is the group index of a complete waveguide. So ng stands for group index. So with this, we have got first equation also. Separately we have find 2 two different values. Okay. Separately, we have seen d beta by d lambda, and one more d omega by d lambda. So these two separately we have calculated. Now what we have to do? We have to substitute this. Before that, I think one more thing is necessary here. Remember, ये जो first bracket है, it is d lambda by d beta. बट जो हमने कैलकुलेट किया है डी बीटा बाई डी लैम्डा, इसको रेसिप्रोकल लेना है इसका. सो Vg इज इक्वल टू टेक द रेसिप्रोकल ऑफ दिस विच इज लैम्डा स्क्वायर माइनस एज इट इज, ये जो न्यूमरेटर में है वो डिनोमिनेटर में जाएगा 2 पाई इंटू Ng फर्स्ट टर्म, एंड दिस इज योर सेकेंड टर्म कैलकुलेट. सो दिस इज योर Vg. यू कैन सिंप्लीफाई दिस. हाउ यू कैन डू? ओमेगा को आप 2 पाई एफ लिख लो, 2 पाई कैंसिल हो जाएंगे, लैम्डा एक टर्म कैंसिल हो जाएगा. ओके फाइन, इतना हो गया. देन बोथ आर नेगेटिव टर्म्स, यू विल गेट पॉजिटिव वैल्यू. फाइन. सो न्यूमरेटर में क्या बच गया? ओमेगा इज 2 पाई एफ. सो एफ, देयर इज वन लैम्डा, एफ लैम्डा बाय Ng. व्हाट इज एफ लैम्डा? c इक्वल टू एफ लैम्डा. सो इट इज नथिंग बट c by Ng. So Vg is equal to c by Ng. You can see again here for group velocity also, your actual electromagnetic wave travels with the velocity of light, but phase velocity, it travels with c by n1, which will be reduced depending upon the refractive index. And your group velocity, it is like c by Ng. It is not exactly c, it will be again reduced by a factor Ng. What is Ng? Ng is dependent on what all factors? N1, lambda, and this differentiation. Okay. So in this class, in this session, we have seen what is phase velocity and what is group velocity. In the next session, we are going to cover the cylindrical fiber, that itself is your optical fiber, which is cylindrical waveguide structure. It has cylindrical fiber, its modes and the types, single mode and multi-mode. Step index and graded index, we say. Any doubts you can ask.